Hello people of YouTube, it's Deepak here, and welcome to the DCS news for the 28th of January 2023. I hope you all enjoyed that little addendum video for the AV8B Harrier, the new loadouts that we now have available as of 2.8.2. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome to the stream, Matt Jones, Storm Kimbari, Paul Dillon, Mark S, Ryan Mage, Tech Gaming 45. Deepak must be running between studios. Oh, no, I'm fine. I just sit here. It's all happening here. This is the command chair, Captain Kirk style. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that video. It's, some interesting changes coming to the Harrier there, and some cool possibilities with regards to loadouts. Kind of fun to have the new AIM-9L as well. Drinks on me. Welcome to the stream, Zigzag. Welcome, Funky FPV. Welcome, Tier Zero. Welcome, Pink Floyd. Well, mine's a innocent gun. Cheers. As I often do, I have another video which I've recorded. Don't get too excited though. This one's a kind of short, simple one on the GF17. I'm going to do my usual trick where if you like this video, once we get to 50 likes, I will immediately post a video. And I'll either do that during the course of this live stream, or I'll do it immediately after if we get 50 likes after this video has gone live. Sean Lamb, I love the 19 rockets, yes. Welcome, Rotor. The 19 pods are nice to have back. We had them earlier, and at one stage they were removed because they've not been... I don't think they were ever on the Night Attack version of the Harrier, or if they were, they haven't been used for a very, very long time. Also, if I understand correctly, the FFAR and Hydra rockets are no longer in inventory anyway. They don't actually exist in the present day. However, you know, for historical loadouts, it's cool to have those. Channel Right, thank you very much. I salute you, sir. Thank you for the contribution there. Nice to get the 19 rocket pods back. Funky FPV, GF17. I've been flying it. Been flying it since release. GF17 is a great module. I really enjoy flying that one. If we get up to 50 likes, well, I assume we will at some point, I will go ahead and push the button on that one. And it's all about the update to the GF17 in 2.8.2. Yes. Yeah, nice. I still have the X19, but they won't fire, says Pink Floyd. Make sure you're on Open Beta and you've done a repair. Your loadout Lua might be messed up in some way. Cool. Okay, so let's get started. Let's go and have a little look at the newsletter for this week from Eagle Dynamics. Dear fighter pilots, partners, and friends, we hope you're all well and enjoying our Lunar Sale. Please note that this is your last chance to take advantage of some incredible bundle deals, as well as up to 50% off most of our aircraft, theatres, and campaigns. Many thanks for your support. DCS Open Beta is now on version 2.8.35632. That's no longer true, there was a hotfix. But we'll go over that update and the hotfix in just a moment. Includes native OpenXR support, a notable number of fixes, additions, and updated instant action missions for the F-16C Viper, F-18C Hornet, and AH-64D are included. Please read the full changelog. We will in a moment. As previously announced, this year will see substantial extra resources allocated to improve the DCS core and address long-standing bugs in the UH-1H, MI8 MTV, and F5E. This is what I'm very excited about. I really want to see some updates to the F5, especially the radar warning receiver, which has been kind of semi-broken forever, and it would be really nice to see them fix it. Matt Jones, I'm pretending that FFAR rockets are CRV-7s. That's exactly, I believe, why they were added back in, so that people can roleplay British. Funky FPV, I'm still praying for the HMD for the GF17. We don't really have any evidence that the Pakistan Air Force GF17s have ever had it, although I do believe they are intending to get it at some point. So yeah, that would be awaiting data that such a thing actually exists. Also, of course, they have, well, you know, the Pakistan Air Force. You have to keep in mind that the Pakistan Air Force is very much in competition with the Indian Air Force. Both air forces are constantly putting out propaganda about their aircraft and what they can do and what technology they have. And sadly, a lot of what ends up in the media from the Pakistan Air Force and from the Indian Air Force is utter nonsense. So it's very, very hard to actually confirm what kind of configuration and what weapons are available on these aircraft in real life. So it might take a little bit of time to get some information on that. Yeah, Funky FPV, it is confirmed in Block 3, that is correct, but we don't have any information about, does Pakistan have any Block 3s? You know, does it even exist? Is the configuration finalized? You know, all that kind of stuff. Mark, looking forward to the Tonka GR1. Me too, very much so. I used to refuel them at Marm long time ago in an AF far, far away. That's cool. That's nice. It's always nice to come across people who have this kind of first-person experience of these aircraft. It's very, very nice. Moving on, Airgis Engineering has introduced a new free variant of the fabulous DS Mirage F1. The EE version brings impressive capabilities, including the inertial navigation system and the new ALR 300 radar warning receiver. Please read the details below and check out the trailer. Well, let's jump straight to that. We like a good video, don't we, people? So let's have a look at this chat. Of course, sadly, no audio, as is usually the case when I play these. Oh my. Very nice aircraft, this F1EE. It's looking pretty impressive. Lots of bounce on that undercarriage. And away it goes. So this one, of course, having the refueling probe, the RWR, and the inertial navigation system. You also get the S530F, which is a more capable air-to-air missile. So, an all-round pretty nice update. Oh, wow. Yeah. Cockpit's looking nice. Radar doing swoopy swoops. Really nicely modelled cockpit. Airgis have done such a good job with the F1. Also with the C101. Really nice work. Some big rocket pods there and dumb bombs. Making stuff go boom as always. Shooting down some stuff, firing some rockets, getting shot at. Mirage F1EE by Airgis. So, go and check that out. That is now released as of 2.8.2. Oh, thank you very much, Yogi. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much for your contribution. Good evening. Hope you're well, says Yogi. Thank you very much. Welcome, Michael John. I have not. No, actually, I don't play single-player campaigns that much, but perhaps I should. Mark, I live in Norway now, so yeah, haha. Yeah, I'm in Sweden myself, also in the Scandinavia. An RAAD would be nice on the Jeff. I actually don't know what that is, channel, right? You'll need to educate me on what an RAAD is. All I want to know is when the F4 is dropping, says Copehead. Well, you're probably not the only one. I do love the Link 17 on the JF-17. Absolutely agreed. Yeah, the data link functionality and also actually the EW functionality I think is pretty good. Yogi, love your show. And when do you think we will get the F4 Phantom from Heatblur? By the way, have you had a look at the F4 mod that was shown on the Grim Reapers? I've not looked at the mod, but well, I've seen some screenshots. I've not actually seen it in action, and it looks pretty nice. As far as when we should expect the F4, the only information we have from Heatblur just now is that it's probably landing soon, but you know, soon could mean any time from a couple of weeks to a couple of months. But it's definitely approaching delivery, it would seem. Beep, beep, beep. And is the F-15 out? No. Ernest, the F-15 is not out. There are some indications that it might drop next month. We have confirmation that we'll be getting the pre-order next month, and the early access might be shortly thereafter. Zigzag, DCS, Little Nelly, why not? Create a full James Bond gyrocopter. Okay. Yogi, any word on the Typhoon? This is the module I'm waiting for. No word on the Typhoon, and almost certainly the Typhoon is at least a year or two away. So we won't be seeing that anytime soon. Michael John, I would recommend the Reflected campaigns. Yes, I've heard that they're very good indeed. Mark, where in Sweden? I'm an hour from the border and go once a month for cheaper shopping. I'm in the north of Stockholm, so I'm in the capital. Good luck on getting on Enigma's server when the F4 rolls out. Oh, a land attack cruise missile channel, right? Very cool. We do already have. I'm trying to remember. Is it the AKG 802? In the JF-17. Chat can fact check me there, but we do already have a cruise missile, which is pretty good, and I have a video on how to use it. But the more the merrier, for sure. Very, very nice. Okay, moving on. We are pleased to announce the newest campaigns by Reflected Simulations and Stone Sky are now available. If you've not already taken the leap, please download the DCS F14, Speed and Angels, and the DCS MAD AH64D campaigns. Now you will be impressed. That's a promise from ED. As always, thank you for your commitment to DCS and for making our dreams come true. Your passion and support makes this community the very best. Fantastic. So yeah, the Lunar Sale is ongoing. That will run until the 29th of January at midnight. And on Steam, it's actually extended and it will continue until the 30th of January. So that's rather exciting. So that'll be ending tomorrow night and the night after for Steam. Mirage F1EE development report. The Aegis team is delighted to present the DCS Mirage F1EE, the aerial refueling capable version of the Spanish Air Force. I guess that should say the Spanish Air Force's Mirage F1. This version also brings desirable capabilities, such as the inertial navigation system and the new ALR 300 radar warning receiver, which includes a display, threat priority, and specific threat warnings. The capability to equip the old RWR remains. The Mirage F1EE, as well as the BE and M, is a core part of the DCS Mirage F1 module, so no additional purchase is required to fly it. They're being very generous here, and I'm very excited to see the M model. I think that's going to be cool. That has a kind of semi-upgraded glass cockpit, as I recall. Troels, hello Mr. Deepak, welcome to the stream. Dave Flute, will the F-15 have a jester in the other seat? Not at release. However, Razbam originally said that there would be no AI, Wizzo, in the back seat of the F-15. However, they've now rolled back on that and decided that they will implement one. But they've said that it will take them quite some time and it will not be there at initial release. Yogi, do you think the ED will release the Vulcan and multi-threading upgrade before the release of the F-15E and F-4 Phantom? It would make sense, bearing in mind the ED 2023 video released by ED earlier in January. I suspect no. Well, for one thing, those are not linked. We could get Vulcan or multi-threading at any time, and they won't necessarily appear together. In fact, I would suspect we'll get multi-threading first and then maybe Vulcan later. I would expect those to drop later in the year. Yeah, I would expect those to drop later in the year. And the F-15 is certainly imminent, as far as we can tell, and the F-4 is also fairly soon, I would think. Funky, I can verify those anti-ship cruise missiles and ground strike cruise missiles. Mark, to be on topic, thanks for the JTAC videos. Finally got it to work, been having a lot of fun with it in Nevada. Excellent. Excellent. That's good, I'm glad. Hey, that's why I make these tutorial videos. Like, my entire purpose with them is I fly all these aircraft anyway. I like to keep up to date with how they work. I like to read the manuals and practice the procedures. And if I can film myself doing that and it's useful to someone else, that's super great. Quick reminder, everybody, if we can hit 50 likes, either during the course of this stream or even after, I have an additional video that I will make live immediately once we hit 50 likes, and it's a JF-17 video for you to all enjoy. Continuing with the Mirage F1EE, many other improvements are also available in the latest Mirage F1 update. One of the main focuses has been polishing the pitch control and flight model, increasing the pitch up range and adjusting drag values. The engine stall and the throttle controls have also been partially reworked. The radar has also seen multiple fixes such as elevation control, TL scan pattern, and target lock stability in one-line scan mode. Finally, the S530F radar missile has been added. This weapon, which was extremely advanced for the era, is one of many other enhancements to this superb module. Airgis will continue to work over the coming months to add even more improvements to the FM, radar, and RWR. They're also developing the BE and M versions, which we hope will be available in the not-too-distant future. Very exciting. I have not flown the F1 enough. I only did that very quick introduction video to the CE. I intend to film a video on the EE shortly. And at some point in the future I'll do a series of tutorials, although my next target for tutorials is actually going to be the Mirage 2000C, so a slightly more modern Mirage. Okay. Funky FPV, no, channel right. Do you guys think a weather update will included? A weather update? We just had the weather update. We just had the new clouds and the ice halos and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure they will continue to tweak the weather and add more features, but we've just had the big weather update. Wind presets. Oh, I see what you're saying. Additional wind presets. I would hope so. At some point in the future, it would be quite nice to have stuff like that. Spam that like button, everybody. We're up at 35 already. Once we hit 50, I'll post that next video. NG and DLSS come in. Yes. We're expecting those as well. Michael John, I find the JF17 startup process a bit weird and difficult. I've only tried it once so far, though. Michael, check out my startup video for the JF17. I think you'll find my flow is fairly logical and easy enough to follow. And of course, whenever you're struggling with these kinds of things, get yourself a good checklist and pop it into the kneeboard. Really easy to follow a checklist from the kneeboard. I love the fact that so many of the community mods actually have really good checklists built into the kneeboard, and the A4 even has the complete manual in the kneeboard. I think the commercial module makers should take note from from these and do the same thing. Funky FPV, when did multi-threading and DLSS come? Anyone know? No. All we know is that they're trying to get it out for this year. That's as much as ED has said. But they've started demonstrating videos, like some of Matt Wagner's most recent videos have those features enabled. So that means they have it in the closed beta, at least, I would assume. So it may be coming at some point. Okay, new campaigns by Reflected Simulations and Stone Sky. DCS F14 Speed and Angels campaign. The new campaign by Reflected Simulations for the DCS F14 Tomcat mentioned last week is now available in the latest DCS Open Beta on our shop and on Steam. DCS MAD AH-64D campaign, the battle rages on. This time you play Captain Khalid Al-Mansouri, a special operations squadron officer of the UAE Air Force with Bedouin ancestry. I don't know why that's important. The DCS MAD AH-64D campaign features a realistic story that will reveal interesting facts about the weapons and capabilities of the H-64D. In this collaborative operation, you will take part in a NATO helicopter ship qualification over the Arabian Gulf and participate in large assaults as part of Operation Sweltering Heat. Download DCS MAD H-64D campaign. So there you go. That's the full newsletter for this week. But we also got some. Oh, pardon me. We also got some other updates. Channel right. I've been thinking of purchasing the Mirage 2000C. Really, really good aircraft. And I would say at the present time, it's probably the best aircraft that Razbam has created. It's so very detailed, has a lot of really great systems in there. Funky FPV, Deep's video helped me. Now all I do is cold start it. Yeah, it's good. War Games, hey Deepak, I love the Jeff and new textures update. Have made it look even sexier. Any clue if Deca might add new weapons, or even perhaps we could get the Block 2 upgrade with a smokeless engine? They have commented on this a couple of times in the forum, and for the most part they've said that they just don't have good information on Block 2 and Block 3 upgrades or additional weapons. So I think that at the present time they are lacking necessary information to really add those kinds of things. They have said though that as information becomes available they will add things to the aircraft. Something that I'm really looking forward to for the GF-17, and they've said they're going to try to do it, is to implement its version of the FPAS page, or it's what in the F-16 is called the DED cruise page. Apparently the real JF-17 has some kind of mechanism for calculating like best cruise altitudes, best cruise speeds, current range, fuel flow rates and things like that. So it actually has a page for calculating your fuel usage. Currently in game we have nothing like that, so it's very difficult to do fuel planning in the JF-17 right now. The real aircraft has something, but DECA are not 100% clear on what it is or what it looks like. So they're trying to get information on that, and perhaps at some point in the future we'll get that, because I feel like, for me at least, that's a big missing feature. When you're flying a JF-17 you don't even have a fuel flow indicator, so you really don't know when you're going to run out of fuel. You have no idea what your endurance is, and I don't, as a real world pilot who kind of stresses about fuel planning in the real world, I don't like that. I don't want to fly an aircraft that can't tell me when it's going to run out of fuel. That's a bit scary. Mr. Yeti, evening all. So last week, Deepak F-16 hook, you can't land on a carrier. Cue multiple YouTube videos showing F-16s landing on a carrier. Yup. It seems that it can in fact do it, although I doubt that's realistic. I'm pretty sure that little hook would just come off if you landed on the carrier. Pink Floyd, I'll be landing the C-130 on the carrier. That might be possible in real life, I don't know, although having enough clear deck space would be the difficulty. Mr. Yeti, definitely get the baguette. It's awesome. It is indeed awesome. Michael John, I hope they add new weapons to the JF. I've seen that one of the knocks on it, that it lacks a decent Fox 2 for self-defense. The SD-11 is a pretty good missile. It's as good as earlier blocks of the AIM-120, I would say. It's about as good as an AIM-120B, I would say, probably. Perfectly good missile. Channel Right, lots of things are pending from ED. Hopefully these new features are filtered through the first quarter, as some seem almost ready, based purely on the videos released. Well, just because stuff turns up in Matt Wagner's videos doesn't mean it's ready for all of us. But yes, they clearly have done a bit of work on some of these features, and hopefully we're going to see those at some point soon. I think it will make a big difference to performance having things like multi-threading and DLSS, for sure. Vulcan, I don't know if that will make so much difference initially. But that's an investment in the future of the sim, I would say. Remember to smash that like button. Once we hit 50, I've got a JF-17 video for you all. Okay, moving on. This week we also had an open beta update. We had 2.8.2. It adds the two campaigns we were already talking about. Also, a notable thing, it actually mentions it down here, initial implementation of the improved bomb fusing options for Mark X series bombs. Please note this is a work in process and will not function for multiple racked weapons. Some options may not yet be fully implemented. I did notice that when I single racked weapons, I was then able to set their fusing. Multi-racked weapons were not possible. Oh, okay, SD10. Okay, what was I talking about? I don't even know. SD10, it's a Fox 3. Yeah, sorry, you're right. I was talking about the SD10. I was getting mixed up. I was thinking that the SD10 was the LD10, and then I thought the SD must be the 11. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, it is indeed a Fox 3. Michael John, Fox 2 being IR guided. Yeah, it can carry the AIM-9 in real life, so hopefully they add it. That's one where Deca said they've been struggling to find proof that it does actually carry the Sidewinder in real life. So I don't know. It may well do, but they've been unable to find documentation or images that support that. Helmet-mounted queuing system, yeah. This is something that they're intending, I think, for the Block 3 upgrade. But again, documentation is hard to come by, so we don't really know. Cool. So anyway, a bunch of fixies. They've added the Rapucha class landing ship, which is exciting. Any other things? Added a bunch of new gun sounds, which is cool. Anything else of note in the core engine? No, not particularly. Oh, the module manager now allows you to uninstall and install the Caucasus terrain. That's interesting. Then the F-16, we have a bunch of additions that were showcased in Matt Wagner's video last week for the F-16. We've got the alternative gear handle, we've got the animated tailhook, we have corrections to the radar warning receiver, they've updated the training missions, and then we have a bunch of fixies and new instant action missions. So, pretty exciting. Heatblur's F-14 Tomcat, we have a bunch of fixies here, which is cool. F-18, we also have the corrections to the radar warning receiver. Added the pilot salute for humans, so now when you salute, your guy is actually animated and doing a salute, which is pretty cool. Bunch of fixies and some more instant action missions. AH-64D, they've added the fact that the TADS IAT is now synced in multiplayer. It worked in multiplayer, but it wasn't synced between the two crew members before. That's cool. We've got a new livery. We've got patches on the pilots' uniforms. Then we've got a bunch of fixies and more instant action missions. K-50 Black Shark 3, this is a recent release for ED, so they're still adding stuff to it. They've tuned the INS alignment, there'll now be greater precision. Autopilot auto-turn doesn't depend on INS anymore, it's basically using roll angles. Hot start INS alignment is more precise. They've changed the INS alignment options and settings in the mission editor. Some corrections to the 3D model. You can now choose which eye your helmet-mounted sight will render in VR. That's nice. Updated the startup sounds. I'll need to check that one out. Renamed the cockpit hints. And the Abris, the English Abris charts, shows 2 Russian items. That's now been fixed. Excellent. Excellent. War games. I don't hope to see a Jehikmis or a separate pylon for a T-pod on the JF, as it just got them pretty soon, pretty sure in 2022, along with Hobbs missiles. Yeah, so much of the new stuff for the JF-17 is very, very recent, and it's going to be hard to get good information. Channel right, is wine expensive in Sweden? That depends what you mean. If you buy wine in the state off license, then no, it's actually fairly cheap. If you buy wine in a bar or a restaurant, then yes, it's very expensive. Cartoba PL8 might be compatible with JF-17, but isn't in service with it. So PL5 is realistically the best you're going to get. PL5 is in effect a Chinese copy of earlier Sidewinders, and PL5 is definitely used by the Pakistan Air Force on the JF-17. Equivalent to an AIM-9M, that sounds about right, yeah. War games, wonder if we will get an F-20 Tiger Shark one day. I personally love light fighters, and having the Tiger Shark would be awesome. Did anybody ever buy the F-20? I was under the impression that it never got made. Because if I remember correctly, F-20, that's the one that was a kind of modernized development of the F-5, right? And I thought that got cancelled. Anyway, I'm sure someone will correct me. Michael John, what do you think of the JF, sir? I currently have it on the 2-week trial, and obviously it's in the Lunar Sale at the moment. I think the JF-17 is one of the best multi-role modern aircraft that we have in the sim. Now, of course, it's limited. Like, you can't really compare it to an F-16 or an F-18. It's a much cheaper less advanced aircraft. But I think it's so much fun, and Deca Ironworks have put so much effort into its simulation, simulating so many things that other modules don't even have. There's a lot of really nice detail in that aircraft, so I can't recommend it enough. I think it's very, very good. Yeah, Funky FPV, the Tiger Shark was not even in small mass production. And actually, Cartoba says GF17 is pretty well in F20 anyway. That's kind of true. The GFs, if you look at the Wikipedia entry on the GF17, you'll see that it grew out of a really weird program that actually started out with a joint US-Chinese aircraft development that was started off using, I think it was some kind of mashup of the MiG-21 and F5, and then of course America stopped being involved, and then later the Chinese partnered with Pakistan, and then like 30 years later you get the GF-17. Like, it was a really long running and really winding program. Definitely take a look at that. But yeah, F20 never really existed. Cool. Moving on. DCS Mi-24P Hind. Got a bunch of fixies. F-86 Sabre, some fixies. F-5E Tiger, we've got a little bit of fixies. That's really good. A-10A, added PBR textures. A-10C2 Tank Killer, a bunch of fixies. And oh, here we go. Note, it is our plan to release ARC 210 radio with UHF and VHF functions in the February 2023 update. This is big news. I hadn't noticed this before, actually. February 2023. Very exciting. They've been saying that they've been working on this for a while, but they haven't committed to a date. So basically in about 2 weeks, TM, we will see the ARC 210. That's very exciting. Yogi, there are a lot of similarities between the F-20 Tiger Shark and the GF-17. The F-20 ended up being the F-16. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. So the F5 is the Jeff's granddad. Who knew? Yeah, basically, kind of, yes. Kind of. But the thing is, if you look at the GF17 development program, it has so many twists and turns. So if you go back far enough, yeah, sure, there was an F5 in there somewhere, but that was a long time ago. It comes out of the Super 7 program. Yeah, that's correct. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, we got some updates to the Spitfire, the Mosquito, and then DCS Mirage F1 by Aegis added the F1EE, which is the big change here. And then, as always with Aegis, an absolutely gigantic changelog. Now, I want to take this opportunity to salute Aegis, because actually Heatblur have been doing this as well, having proper broken down change logs with lots and lots of detail. Quite a lot of the module makers, they don't provide that much detail in the change log, and there's always stealth stuff that ends up in there. You always end up installing a patch and noticing things that have changed that were never in the change log. I think Aegis come from a very different kind of background where they actually document every change, and you can just see that here. Look at all of this. I am not going to bother reading all of this out for you all because there is far too much in here, but you know, suffice to say, the F1 gets a gigantic update in 2.8.2, including one whole additional variant in the form of the F1EE, which is really cool. Scrolling down, we've got the GF-17, funnily enough. Completed cockpit textures with more weathering. External textures, template will come soon. Updated rocket loadouts. Updated the SD10 LD10 pylon drag. Bingo fuel should only trigger a warning on the HUD, no mode changes. More input controls, and then a bunch of fixies. Very good to see. GF17 is brilliant. And if you get this video to 50 likes, and we're currently at 47 by my count here, once we hit 50 likes, I will immediately publish my video on the GF17 where I show off the new cockpit textures. And there are even some new sounds which you actually don't hear. Don't see listed here. Rotor Milan, isn't the 2 weeks joke forbidden since the Strike Eagle incident? Well, they brought that on themselves. They used the joke and the rest of us didn't get it. We thought they were being serious. Not IS, but US. Yeah, didn't I say US? Apologies if I said IS, that's not what I meant. Michael John, I'm really pleased with the EE. The issues with the CE, crap RWR, no INS, are no longer a thing, so I'm happy. Haha. Those aren't really issues, exactly. You know, the aircraft is being correctly simulated. It never had those features, so, but I know what you mean. And actually, while we're speaking about the JF7, oh, we just hit 53 likes. That was all of a sudden. Thank you very much. Wow. Oh. Okay, tier 0, thank you. Yeah. I'm gonna read out most of it. You know, you guys can read these things yourselves. Anyway, we're at 53 likes. That means I'm pressing the button, but don't go anywhere. Stay here, please. But that's a new video in the JF17 for you all. I just hit the publish button. Oh dear, oh dear. So anyway, World War II Assets Pack gets a couple of fixies, DCS Combined Arms, we've got firefighting vehicles, refuelers, tractors, all kinds of cool stuff. The TZ-22 tractors are all drivable now, fixed the front armour on the Abrams, fixed the driver position for the Tachanka, fixed crash when giving artillery second target. Come on, like the video. I want to see the JF17. They have. They've just liked enough. I have published it, so you can see that. Yes, of course. In the South Atlantic map, we get an additional few airfields here, including some grass airfields and club airfields. That's pretty cool. And then a bunch of adjustments. That's really, really nice. And then look at all these fixies for the campaigns. So all of these campaigns are getting a bit of love, getting touched up. That's pretty good. Mr. Yeti, is that a speckled hen you're drinking? No, this is an Innocent Gun original. It's Scottish golden beer, all the way from Edinburgh. Yum, yum, yum. So, let's jump in and take a little look at these new textures for the JF17. You can, of course, check out my video, but don't do that right now. Stay right here, because this is live and exciting. But here are some still images of the updated JF17 cockpit textures. Looking really good, in my opinion. I think these look very, very nice. The JF17 got a lot of flack for the cockpit textures initially. My understanding is that their texture artist sadly got quite ill at the beginning of development, and so wasn't able to complete his work until more recently. So this is the result of the full-time graphics texture artist actually being available and touching up all of these textures. And I have to say, they're looking very splendid. And they've said that the external textures are now complete as well. I assume they're referring to all of this stenciling that the aircraft now has. This is really, really cool looking. I don't recall all of these stencils being present in the earlier versions. So very, very good. Michael John, oof, Innocent Gun is the thinking man's ale. I'm a big fan. I'm a very, very big fan. Nico, clearly people have been using the Jeff since the cockpit now shows wear and tear. Yeah, enough people had to buy it first for it to get this worn looking. That's what it is. And yeah, like I said, you can check out my video. I note that the ECS sounds and some of the engine start sounds seem to have been tweaked as well, or at least to my ear they have. And then, continuing the theme of images, we got a bunch of additional images from Razbam on Twitter, mostly showing off the F-15E Strike Eagle, but we have some additional stuff as well, but this is looking really nice, complete with the in-cockpit pilot and Wizzo bodies, which is really nice to see, because it's so common for aircraft to release without those pilot bodies, so it's very, very nice to have those. Kartoba, it's really not trivial to make a cockpit like that look good in a game. There are a lot of flat grey panels in the JF17, and in a video game that just looks cartoony. Good work there. Yeah. Is it my imagination, or does the Jeff have the F-16 throttle? I don't think it's exactly the same as the F-16's throttle, but actually all the controls in the F-16 were designed to make transitioning from the F-16 to the JF-17 easy, because of course prior to this aircraft, the Pakistan Air Force's primary aircraft was the F-16. So they are intentionally similar, but not quite identical. And that even goes for things like the lighting controls. You can't see them right now. But things like the lighting controls and switches are designed to basically look the same as the F-16s, which is kind of cool. Even positioning, actually. So, you know, positioning of panels and things like that are quite similar between the aircraft. Anyway, jumping back to the Razbam stuff. Lovely, lovely F-15 images here. And here we go. Here's the pilot with a kind of fisheye view of the cockpit, looking kind of fun. And there's some close-ups of the F-15 stick, looking very, very detailed there. Seeing all of these circuit breakers as well, which is cool to see that kind of detail. I wonder, you know, not that many modules actually simulate the circuit breakers. It'd be cool if they did, but maybe that's just me. And here, another image of the front cockpit with the pilot in place. Yeah. Mr. Yeti, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Razbam do the very best pilot bodies. AV8 and M2000 look really good. I agree. Razbam, my understanding is that they were using laser scanning to produce these pilot bodies, and they've done an absolutely fantastic job. This, I got really excited when I saw this. There's no description at all, but there's somebody in the comments who says, is this the ARA-25 De Mayo? So as far as I can tell, and I'll need someone to confirm this for me, this is an Argentine aircraft carrier for the South Atlantic map. And you can see in that first image on the deck there a couple of A4s, which would be both period and Air Force correct, and it even looks like they have Argentine skins on them, which is very cool. And there's another image of there, of that carrier, looking very, very cool indeed. So yeah, it looks kind of like it has a single catapult and then an angled deck. Very interesting design for a small aircraft carrier. But, you know, launching A4s, this looks like it'd be perfect. Really, really cool. Cool, Cartoba. Yeah, the De Mayo. Cool, thank you for the confirmation. Yeah, this looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And the more aircraft carriers we can get in the game, the better. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Although they should be A4Bs, really, but that's minor nitpicking. Ah, well. We can only do what we can do. And am I right in thinking that Argentina still flies the A4, but they have some kind of super upgraded version of the A4 now with modern avionics and all kinds of exciting stuff? Oh, Tech Gaming 45, it's an ex-Royal Navy carrier. It's a Hermes class. Oh my. Very exciting. I didn't realise. Spent the Falklands War in dock. They didn't want to risk it. Tech Gaming 45 says Toulouse. Okay. Well, I have no idea. So I'm gonna take your word on that. But looks really, really nice, whatever it is. Very cool. And someone's even managed to land a Hornet on the deck there. That's going to be challenging. Actually, it must be quite challenging landing full-sized aircraft on this tiny aircraft carrier. But, you know, I routinely operate Harriers from the Invincible, so, you know, I'm one to talk. Very cool. Very cool. So that's everything that I've got for this week. Those are all the updates and images that we have. Although I've just realised that I missed one thing. We had one additional Open Beta update this week because there was a hotfix, and I almost forgot to mention it. So here we go. This was a hotfix. I think this actually dropped yesterday. And we have fixes in the form of... let me actually show it to you guys. Mark 82 bomb fuse on Mirage 2000 fixed. FC aircraft cyclic target lock-on by enter key removed. OpenXR is removed from auto search. You now have to use a command line switch. If you're using OpenXR compatible headsets, take a long hard look at the forums. It's in I think input devices. There's a post by someone where they detail the command line switches you need to use OpenXR. So well worth taking a look. Game options, game avionics mode has been removed. That's been a long time coming. And then a bunch of fixes for the Mirage 2000C. Some really cool stuff. Yeah, improved the engine sounds on the M2000C. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So there you go. Now that's everything. I almost missed that. Terribly sorry, everyone. Forgot about one of the updates. Channel right, I think Argentina considered the JF-17. They did, that's correct, but in the end they didn't purchase it. I think they also considered the Gripen, if I recall correctly. Yogi, do you know if the F4 Phantom being released by Heatblur will be carrier capable? At least one of the versions will be, because they are looking at including the US Marine Corps version of the F4. Now, I don't know if that's the initial variant that they'll produce or a later one, but at least one of the variants will indeed be carrier capable. Yeah, everybody's saying the initial version will be the F4E. So that's initially, but they have talked about the possibility of having a US Marine Corps one later, which would be carrier capable. What's game avionics mode? Really, really old feature where you could have simplified avionics. And that's really not something that's been a thing for a long time now. I don't even think any of the modern modules even support it. So I don't think it does anything, really. But it used to give you like a kind of heads-up display all the time wherever you looked, and targets were visible and radars were simplified and all kinds of stuff like that. But it doesn't do anything anymore, I don't think. Thank you very much, Shandor Hedgevald. It's very, very kind of you. Thank you for the donation there. So anyway, like I said, that's everything for this week. So I will take this opportunity just now to pimp the VAF, as I often do. The VAF, or the Virtual Air Force, is an online virtual squadron that was started by myself and dotChuckles many, many moons ago. It's a group of like-minded people who all fly together. We have a kind of milsim-esque kind of opt-in style experience, where you have the option of joining the squadron as a freelancer, and you can fly whatever aircraft type you would like, whenever you would like, or you can join one of our internal numbered squadrons and do mandatory training, type ratings, qualifications, and fly with other people in the same aircraft type. And we have custom liveries and all kinds of cool stuff. We have squadrons at present for the Harrier, the A-10, the Apache, the F-16 and the F-18. We also have people flying both in the European time zones and North American time zones. You'll see that there's a link to the Discord in the chat right now, and if you're watching this after the fact, there's a link in the show notes below. Go ahead and join the Discord whether you would like to fly with us or not. Everybody is welcome. We do training sessions every Tuesday at 8 PM UK time, and we also do missions on Thursdays, also at 8 PM UK time. Come join us, it's a good laugh. Nico, I guess the reason Argentina has been having problems getting any replacements is that they still pine for Falklands, and thus fighter manufacturers do not get permit for sales. Maybe. I don't know. Pink Floyd, I still want the VAF for Dummies video. Yes, I should absolutely do that. That would be a good idea. It's something, we have a VAF YouTube channel, but we just need people to make content for it. And I'm so busy making content for my own channel, I've not had the time, but perhaps I should put some time aside and do that. That would be a good idea. So, I've been Deepak. I post a new tutorial video every Saturday at 6:30 PM UK time, and that's always followed by the DCS News, which just happens to be this thing, what you're watching right now. I'm currently doing a tutorial series on the F-14. I've also posted some videos recently on the Black Shark 3, but I continue to make addendums and bonus videos for all the series that I've done in the past. I've done so many. I've done videos on the Gazelle, the Huey, the Mi-8, the original Black Shark, F-16, F-18, JF-17, Harrier, probably more that I can't even remember. So look back through my video catalogue. There's a ton of stuff there. Some things I'll probably even have to start re-recording now because they'll become out of date. But yes, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please subscribe, like, and comment. If you'd like to support the channel even more, you have the option to join Deepak's ground crew by pressing the join button below. For a small monthly fee, you can give me an extra bit of support. I really appreciate the people who've already done that. A big shout out to Frantic Stone, Mr. Yeti, Griff Nizzle, Chandro Hedgevald, JR Walker, Mangash, Channel Right, Storm Kimbari, Byron Farrow, Leo Netzel, Harish Rajan, Pink Floyd, Bread, and Tier Zero. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support, and fly safe, and I'll see you all next time. Ta-ta.